Hey, nephew.
All right. What's going on?
How you doing?
We got it going, huh?
Yeah, it wouldn't let me. I didn't see a request. I mean, I didn't see where I could request to join on the computer, so I had to get on the
Use
phone.
your phone.
Yeah.
It's okay. How do I sound?
You sound good. Yeah, I
All
hear you. I
right.
hear you just fine. You hear me? You hear me good?
I hear you real good.
Okay.
These people keep riding these four-wheelers. It's about to storm over here, so they
Um,
trying to play outside while they can. So if
um,
you hear that, don't worry about it.
yeah, I don't hear anything.
All right. So let's get it started. I know you got a lot to do. What is your name for my viewers?
My name is Diane Green.
Diane Green. And
Mhm.
where you from, Diane?
I'm from Harrodsburg, Kentucky.
Harrodsburg, Kentucky. That's near what major city in Kentucky?
Lexington and Louisville, not too far from either one of those.
Either one of those.
I'm in central Kentucky.
All right. I got a lot of people who went through Kentucky for either Job Corps or
Yeah,
military, and they
yeah.
always like, where you was at in Kentucky? So, you
Yes,
know,
your uncle was
anyway,
Job Corps.
yeah, Lexington is rough. So,
Hmm.
all right, you're from Kentucky. What was it like growing up for you? Explain to my viewers, what was it like for you growing up?
Like just run up in Kentucky, or just me in general.
Kentucky and having your parents, what was your lifestyle like growing up?
Well, Kentucky's where I'm at in Kentucky is pretty laid back. It's a little small town, probably related to pretty much all the black people in my community. I grew up in Danville, which is just 15 minutes up the road from Harrisburg. I was born here in Harrisburg. My mother was only 15, well, she was 16 when she had me. And so we lived with my grandparents, my uncles, my aunt. We all lived in a house together. And then when I was about 5 or 6, my mom married my stepdad, and we moved to Danville, which is, like I said, just up the road. But it was kind of a culture shock for me, leaving my grandparents' house and going to that school. I always kind of felt like I didn't belong. I always
Mm.
felt, I didn't. I don't know. I had a little bit of a rough time growing up. I was not popular. I had some friends, but I never felt like I fit in.
Mm. And you have any brothers and sisters?
I have. So with my mom and my stepdad, they had a son when I was 8. So my little brother is 8 years younger than me. And then um, I have a sister. My dad, my biological father, had a child. I had my little sister, and she's around 30. I don't know why I always forget how old she is, but she's about 30 years old. Which
So you the oldest.
she's huh?
So you the oldest.
Oh yeah, I'm the oldest, so she's
Oh.
she's a lot younger than me. She hangs out my with my kids a lot. My with like Hannah and Rebecca, because they kind of we hang out too, but her and Rebecca are really cool. They're really close.
What's up, Scat Pack? What up, Platt? Um, okay, so let's fast forward into high school, young adult. Who was your favorite artist?
Prince.
Lit- You want to talk about Prince real quick? Why he influenced you so much?
I don't know. It started out Michael Jackson, and then it just kind of progressed. When Purple Rain came out, I was like 10 years old. I remember I had a cake. My auntie made me a cake, and it had purple icing, and it had the little symbol and everything on it. Like, yeah, he was my favorite. I loved him. Like, literally, I loved him so much that, like, when he died, like, people was checking on me. Like, people were literally, like, checking on me, like, are you okay? Like, he was a family member.
I know Prince is your dude, and I had to ask you that because I felt like that about Aaliyah, and I know you don't play about Prince, so and
Yeah,
he's no longer here, so I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I remember I was like,
So,
I where I was and everything. Like when I found out I was at work, I had to go in the back and sit down for a minute.
Wow, that's real love.
Yeah, and then
Shout out to Crim.
my manager, I worked at AT&T, and I remember, we always had music playing in the store, and my manager, like all week, he was like, we're gonna play Prince like all day just for you.
Oh. So your first child, what was that like?
Well, I was 19, and it's funny you asked about my first child because she just had her first child 2 days ago. But
Right.
yeah, so I was young when I had her. I was 19, and it was pretty crazy situation, but we got through it and everything. But she's 27 now. She's a new mommy, and she's a great kid. She's a great kid. She helped me a lot with the other children. She was like the second mommy.
Okay. And 19 isn't really that young. Like I said, my page is like my kids see this. I want them to know the roller coaster ride and then the success story at the end. And we
Yeah,
still go through things, but you pretty successful person. I'm telling you, like I know people who don't have nothing together, who's laying on somebody's floor, and
yeah.
you've come a long way.
I
So
mean,
let's put, uh
I literally got like before I got on here with you like this morning. I literally got on my knees and was just thanking God for the life that I have and just the growth that I've seen. Like every year, I level up every single year. Me and not just me and my husband, my family, we level up every year. Like, I mean, honestly, like he's blessing us so much. When they say started at the bottom, definitely started at the bottom.
Now let's get to when I finally met you.
So when you
Where
met me
were you? Where were we living?
in Charlotte, North Carolina,
Charlotte, North Carolina.
yeah,
This is not about me, but what kind of person was I when you met me?
you were
And how
fun.
old was I? Do you remember?
Oh, you had to been maybe 16, 17. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
was definitely about 16 at least. But yeah, you're right.
I remember
Stay up there.
your uncle used to get mad because you would play the music. And he
Really?
go, yes, because the music with it had cussing and stuff in it. And Elizabeth was like 5. And he was like, y'all can't be
She
playing that
was
music.
real young. And Hannah was a baby.
Hannah was a baby, like a little baby. Like
What
in the
was
South,
Charlotte
they say an
like?
arm baby, a lap baby.
What was
Uh,
How was your experience with Charlotte, North Carolina? What was it like?
I was only there for a year, but I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'd like to go back there someday and visit my, Cookie's still down there, and I, it was a nice atmosphere. I wish I could have seen more of it. I didn't really get out to see much. I was married to your uncle, and he literally didn't even want me to make friends or anything. I was basically just inside that whole time, but it
And
was atmosphere.
I just hung up with Cookie, and you had to go back to Kentucky. You remember that ride?
Yes, yes, you came with me. You came with me to help me. I drove that big old U-Haul. I was pregnant with Rebecca. Hannah was a baby. You forgot about that?
Man, you were pregnant?
Yeah, I was pregnant. Hannah was a baby, not even a year old.
I
Elizabeth
remember
was
that.
Elizabeth was 5, and I would have to like pull over to nurse Hannah. I pulled over to nurse her once or twice.
I didn't know that. I don't remember that.
Remember
I
that?
just remember we rode from Charlotte to Kentucky.
It was like seven and
You
a half hours
drove,
in the U.
yeah, and I helped out as much as I could.
Yeah,
And
I
when we got to Kentucky, your family wanted me to stay.
yeah,
I was so, I guess I had a good spirit. They was like, man, you can stay, come back anytime you want. They were so open to me,
and
man.
your daddy was like, "You better get back down here."
Get
I'm
back
like,
down here.
"No." He didn't want you to come. He's like, "You don't have
Man,
no family up there," and I'm like, "Yes, he do. We family. You might not
yeah.
be blood, but we family. You gonna always be my nephew."
And then Charlotte, I had to take care of myself. So it wasn't like I was in a rush to get back.
Yeah. But
All
yeah,
right.
he helped me
So,
get home. I was pregnant and I had a little baby and I had a 5-year-old. And I remember I got back and my grandmother was like, "You never cease to amaze me." She was like, "What can you not do?" Like, she's like, you just do it. You just make it happen. It's like, what choice do I have? Like,
and
my
at that
husband is dead.
time,
What am I supposed to do? Just sit there and
at
cry?
that time, at that time, you didn't know how powerful you was.
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
You didn't. So let's talk a little bit more about. All right. Fast forward, things got a little crazy. I don't know, but if you whatever you want to share.
So things were crazy before I met you. And then I got my life together for a little bit. And then things were crazy again. So I
Oh
met your uncle because he was my dealer. Did you know that?
no,
Yeah. He was, yeah, that's how I knew your uncle. That's how we
I
got
didn't.
together. So
Oh,
I had a crack addiction back before I met you. And
you didn't look what?
I don't look like what I've been through. I never have. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. But yes, that's
Hey
how.
Chris, what up, cuz? I love you, man.
And so we
Cuz, I mean,
over.
Auntie, can you please talk about? I did not know
Listen,
this.
I'm gonna tell you the story. So he fell for me. I was with Elizabeth's daddy, and we were both strung out pretty much. But then your dad, basically, I mean your uncle, he started like for real liking me and everything. So we ended up getting together. Well, once we became a couple, we were together. Um, he no longer wanted me to use drugs because now I'm his woman. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like I gotta straighten up and clean up. So I did, not because I wanted to, but because your uncle was abusive. And that's how I got clean because I knew the consequences of not being clean. And I didn't like those consequences. So for 6 years, I was able to stay clean. I had them babies. I had Hannah, Rebecca, Malachi, all back to back. I was pregnant from 1998 to 2001. I had them three babies. And then, so I was clean all that time. And that was for 6 years. And then, your uncle we moved back to, we was in Charlotte for a year, and then we came back to Kentucky. He still continued to, do what he did, do what he was doing. And then he went to jail. And when he went to jail, it was like, I'm free. I can do whatever I want to do. I'm free. I started hanging out. By this time, I was about 30, I guess. When he and I married, yeah, I was 24 when he and I married. And so I started hanging out again, going out and stuff because I was free. I mean, it just felt like I'd just been let out of prison. And got back out there and partying and stuff. And then got back involved with drugs. I actually started selling them first. I started selling, and then I started using again. And that landed me in prison. And I
You
did,
want to talk about prison briefly
yeah, so
for the people who ain't been, let them know what's.
well, I was in they call it Pee Wee Valley. It's a Kentucky Correctional Institution for Women here in Pee Wee Valley, Kentucky, and that's where I was. And it wasn't a hard prison. I mean, of course, I don't want to go back, but they had a lot of rules set up and a lot of things in place that made it um, where was not a whole lot of mess going on. Like it was very structured. The where we slept, it was just like being in a college dorm, basically,
Okay.
honestly. And because of my good behavior and whatnot, before I left there, I ended up in a dorm that was actually outside the gate. So, my whole
That's
time
a
there,
blessing.
yeah, and I
God did that
had
for
a
you.
kitchen. We could cook. We could buy food and cook for ourselves. Outside the gate, we could cook. I had a TV. I had my room. It was just one other girl in the room with me. But here's the thing: when I went to prison, when I first got into trouble, like they like kicked in my door and everything, and I got into trouble. I went to jail. I went to jail a couple of times and bonded out. And in the process of that, I got pregnant before I went to prison. So when I went into prison, when I got final sentenced, I was 5 months pregnant.
Wow.
So I had my baby in prison. Like, yeah. So I had Grace, who's 14 now. I had her in
Mm.
prison, and she came home to live with my family. I'm very grateful for my family. God really blessed me with an awesome family
Support
because
system.
when I got into trouble, my grandmother and my mother took care of my children. Um, and my family really stepped up. I had 4 kids by the time I went to prison and was pregnant with the fifth. And they took care of the 4 lived with my mom, and my grandmother helped out. And then when I had Grace, she my mother's sister took her. So she cared
Okay.
for her. So when my children never was in any kind of foster care or any kind of nothing.
That's a
They
blessing.
with
That's a
family.
blessing.
Yes, it's a blessing because I don't know
Because
what.
nobody took care of me and my brother while my mom was going through her struggles. We
Yeah,
had to go to foster care. We
yeah.
had to go to places that we don't know who these people are. So, but they
Yeah,
kept us together. But
that's a blessing.
now 2007, I think I was going through some issues, and I ended up coming back to Kentucky. And just so happened you ended up getting out, and I seen you again.
Yeah,
That was great times. It wasn't long, but just to be around the kids and kind of get to know them, man, that was so much fun, man.
yeah.
I just wanted to say that. Now, the new marriage.
So yeah, so I came home in 2007. I did 14 months, and I got to put this in there. The whole 14 months that I did, I spent time in the Word. I spent time, and they had people that came in and did Bible studies with us and all that. And I ended up I was a clerk in the chapel, so I had my own office in the chapel while I was in prison. Like I had my own office and was actually supervisor over the women that came in that did the cleaning and stuff like that. So God's favor has been with me everywhere I go.
I
And
hear it.
yeah, I came home and in '07, and within so my employer, I worked from home as a medical transcriptionist before I went to prison. My employer, one of the times I got bonded out, my employer bonded me out. And when I went to the board, the parole board, my employer wrote a letter to the parole board and said when she comes home, she'll have a job. So I came home on a Thursday, started working on Monday. I was living with my grandmother. 5 weeks later, I was back in my own place. 5 months later, 5 to 6 months later, I had all my children back, and life goes on, And then in 2009, I met my husband now, and he was,
Y'all moved to Alabama. Let's talk
yeah,
about Alabama real fast. What
yeah.
was that like?
Well, when he got here, he was from Georgia. He came here for work, and that's how we met. We met the day he got here, and then that job ended a few months later. So then he had to go to the next job, which was in Alabama. So he went to Alabama, and after a couple of weeks, he was just like, "I miss y'all. I want y'all here. I want y'all.
Oh,
I was like, dude, I'm gonna need you to put a ring on it. I'm not packing up 5 kids and moving 9 hours away without a ring." And he said, okay. And he came back home and married me. And a month later, I packed up everybody and moved to Alabama. Moved
and y'all were there for a
five,
couple years,
5 years.
five,
Yeah.
5 years. Y'all loved it.
Loved it. Great experience. Loved it.
What
Rebecca's
part of
there now.
Alabama?
Rebecca's there now.
What part of
It's
Alabama?
called Jackson. We were like 70 miles from Mobile. So Jackson's
Mobile.
another little. I like these little nothing small towns where it's safe and the kids can play in the garden and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't like
Oh,
big city. So we were in another little small town. Everybody knew everybody. Southern hospitality is real, which I know you in Florida, so you know that. But it was for us.
yeah.
It was a whole new experience, and because I mean Kentucky is South, but it ain't
Yeah.
real South.
Y'all hospitality is like no other, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But so in Alabama, it was great. We had a great time while we were there. it was just, I met some great friends, some people that I'm still really close to. And like I said, Rebecca's down there now. Rebecca, and then Hannah, she brought her boyfriend back here with her. Well, he wasn't even her boyfriend back then, but her man is from Alabama, and they got two babies
Ooh,
and everything. He's up here with her. So yeah, we're
man,
real attached to that community
y'all
that.
just will not come to Florida. I see.
So now
Florida, we here too, though.
we're gonna be there next month. So I had
Make
said
sure
to
you come.
Job about,
Let me know, man. I'll
yeah,
bump into y'all, man.
we're gonna be in Daytona, so you're gonna have to come down
That
there.
ain't fun.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I
not
said
fun.
to Job. He said it's like an hour, and
Yeah,
I was like, well,
that's
y'all
not.
gonna have to come and see your nieces and your nephew and your great nieces. I was telling Job that, and I was like, you haven't met these, you haven't met your great nieces. You're gonna have to come down there.
Right.
That's why we're in town. It's easier for y'all to come to us than us to try to pack. Because I'm talking about everybody's coming. Me, my husband, all five. Well, no, Elizabeth's not coming. So I say all five. I have 6 kids now. 5 kids, 5 of the 6, and the grandbabies. Everybody's coming.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Our
Well,
first real vacation. Like we've never really gotten to like take a vacation in life ever.
next month the weather should be pretty. You just never know with Florida, man.
Yeah.
It could give you 3 different seasons in one day. Like you just never know. But hopefully the weather is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you guys traveling, everything goes great. God cover y'all. And y'all gonna have fun out there if you never been.
Mm-hmm.
So now where are you? What do you have going on? Do you want anyone to follow you? All
So
right, Scat Pack. Thanks, man. Uh-huh. I'm
I have
sorry.
it's okay. I have a lot going on. I have a lot going on. I always have a lot going on. I don't know. But let me just say, I mentioned the addiction. Let me just say I've been clean for 14 years now. And
That is big.
yeah,
That's big, man. That's a long time too, but that's big. And you have no desire.
none. I was
None.
delivered. People talk about, being in recovery and this and that, and that's fine. Whatever you need to say, whatever you need, is fine. But for me, I'm not in recovery. I was delivered. I was delivered from that addiction, and I have no desire for it whatsoever. So I'm an adult peer support specialist, and what that is basically somebody that uses their experiences to help others that are going through the same things. I encourage people. I share my story with people, with my clients and whatnot. And
Right.
I teach Bible studies, and I do substance abuse classes. I have a DUI group that I do every Wednesday night. I give back. And my husband and I started doing jail ministry in Alabama, and then we continued to do so when we moved back here. And then COVID, kind of messed that up. But we do jail ministry. So when I met my husband, I was going to church and whatnot and everything, and he came here to work, and he he just started going to church with me. Like he just started. Oh, thanks, Scat Pack. He started going to church with me, and he just tells people he followed me to church, and he got saved. And when I met him, he was a rapper, right? And he had all these songs he recorded, all this music. Well, it was stuff that is like you can't play this stuff around my kids. Like that's the kind of stuff it was. And
I
so
didn't know that.
yeah, so he got saved, and so now we have a Christian hip hop music ministry. So
Yeah. And I'm
he
a fan.
he
Yeah.
raps, I sing. We do shows.
The Greens, right?
The last thing we got to do, the last couple of things we got to do, with COVID shut a lot of things down, but we got to go to there's a treatment center here in the area, and they have invited us. They want us to come every 3 months to just give our testimony and do our music and whatnot. So we went there last month, and we'll go. Like I think their clients stay there for maybe like 3 months, and then they graduate out. So then there's a new group come in. So That's why they want us to come like every 3 months so we can see new faces. And
Okay, your group is called the Greens.
yeah, we're the Greens.
Let
We're
yeah,
on,
let people know the
yeah,
Greens
I'm gonna put in the
for his glory.
yeah. So for His glory, I don't know if you can see this is my
Yeah, that's it.
merchandise. I
Right.
find that that's my merchandise.
All right.
Um, so you can find us on YouTube just by typing in Theron and Diane Green. That's just the easiest way.
What's
Uh,
his name?
Theron, his middle name's Dante. That's what we call him.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, okay.
but yeah, his name is Theron. And
Theron and okay.
so you can just type that. If you go to YouTube and type that in, then you can find our music. We're also on SoundCloud. You can put the Greens on there for His glory. The Greens.
Okay.
You can find us on SoundCloud, or just type in Theron and Diane Green. We have a Facebook page. And then, so I started out with this merchandise, making these shirts with this. And I was ordering them. I was having them made and I was selling them whatnot to support the music ministry and everything. Well, then I started, we bought this house a couple of years ago. So when we bought the house, um, I set up in here. This is um, my office. So I got my heat press, I got my t-shirts. I know it's a mess in here, but
Wow.
t-shirts, my heat press, my computer,
Wow.
my vinyl cutter, there's my mug press, there's my sublimation printer. And so I have my
Wow.
business now. So I don't work for anybody anymore. I work for myself. I have
So if people want to contact you for anything,
they can just get in my DM.
DM,
Yeah.
okay? And
I'm
it's
I
forever underscore 29 on Instagram,
That's
and
three underscores.
that's three of them.
Yep, that's three of them.
Yep, that is three of them.
Yeah. Forever
Well,
done.
you know me and you,
Long time.
you know, you know me and you can talk all day. I know you got Bible study coming.
Yep, 2 o'clock.
This was a great interview. You are so beautiful.
Thank you.
Everybody don't know, y'all. She been putting me to the side for about 2 months, but I see why you're busy, man. That office is, man, that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
And
and
then congratulations on the new grandbaby.
thank
That was
you.
like 2 days ago, a day ago.
2 days ago. 3 days. It's been about 3 days ago now. Yeah.
Congratulations on everything. Your kids are beautiful. Malachi, he plays for Louisville,
University of Louisville, yeah.
University of Louisville. Yeah, man. Great, great squad, man. And everybody, man. I love everybody. Chole and Grace, all of them. And your husband, you know? And I hope to God I can see y'all soon.
Yep. We'll be down that way next month. Family vacation.
Oh, she remind me of my dad's mom. That gotta be a good thing.
I hope so.
Love you, Diane,
I love you too,
so
nephew.
much. And I appreciate your help.
Anytime.
Hopefully we can do this again.
Sounds good.
All right, I'm out.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm trying, cuz I need that interview from you, Scat Pat. I need that interview, baby. You know? They gotta hear from the G's too. Hit me up, man. We link up.